All right, all right. Good evening, Ebusia for baby Biara Bia Honchia Kesia Namidema Sabre. Good evening to everyone, and thank you and welcome for joining the show. Time with Ty Thompson, live on HRETV, Facebook, YouTube, and Ty Thompson Ghana Facebook. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule and being part of us today. So initially legal updates and that's the U.S. Immigration Updates with our very own lawyer Benedicta Agyemangi. She said, yeah, she's part of us. So she's part of us. We are collecting all the lawyers. We're still throwing out a great appeal. If you know of any lawyer in Canada, any finance guy in Canada in terms of like how Canada files their taxes or the tax system, however it works, please let us know. Reach out to us on the HITV platform. Producer or myself will, coordinate with you for us to get that taken care of. Next week, we have a very beautiful show to go over with Lawyer Oni. It's about relocating to Ghana or Africa. So she's looking to connect with people from Ghana and also how to relocate back home and look into what are the good stuff that you want to put yourself through in terms of relocating back. Then a week after that, we'll have another legal session. A week after that, no, a week after that, we have a good talk with the finance guys to give us more depth about it. Then 2 weeks after that, we'll get our legal talk. So we'll end the month with legal. So we starting the month with legal and we'll end the month with legal. And in between the month will be some great programs for you. So again, please, if you just joined, please share the links to your loved ones, your family, friends, and let's have a beautiful show. My name is Dr. PK OFORI-ASENSO, and I'm going to be your host for tonight as usual. Very soon, those of you who are craving so hard to have some good sessions with Sister Oba and Professor Andor. It's in the works. Once our sister is very tight, she's too busy. So once she gets some free time and we're able to coordinate that with Professor Andor, you guys will get that relationship conversations or talks that was talked about some time ago. So please take advantage of that and also we look forward to that as well. So once Faba is ready, we will announce that beautifully. I also want to say on the HRTV chat room, producer kind of put out a communique in terms of those that are interested to become a panelist, and I know that producer has been engaging those. So we try to make the show a little bit dynamic and also engage our viewers by also bringing you on board maybe one or two panelists per show that we run, and the topics like whether we talk about investment, whether we talk about immigration, whether we talking about whatever, like basically the same topics that we be treating, but in a different dynamic setup too as well. And you guys also see some of the how the conversation will just turn on. So we throw it out to everyone to join in if you're interested. And those of you who have reached out to producer and communicated with producer, I want to say thank you so much for taking that bold step and coming out to help kind of brainstorm ideas on how to throw the information out there. So thank you. All right. So at this point, I want to say thanks to our producers for helping us bring the show to you. First, I want to say thanks so much to Feel Good Services. In case you're looking for a mental health educator or speaker, contact them at feelgoodservices@gmail.com, and they will schedule some great information with you as well, so that you guys can have a good talk. I see that Director Danny posted some link in the chat. I have not looked at the link here, but please, whatever it is, click on it. Click on it. I just saw it popped on my feed, but whatever the link is, click on it. It's good feed. When you have information coming from Director A-Class, Director Danny, producer, or any of the ambassadors on the platform. Those are good links. It's not a bad link. So click on it and just, if it's a chat room, join it, be part of the family, and let your voice be heard. So thank Feel Good Services for their support throughout these years. I also want to say thanks to Feel Good Homes. Feel Good Homes, in case you're looking for a land to buy, in case you're looking for an apartment at Pokwase, East Legon Hills, Ajingano. Um, one day somebody was like, but PK, Ajingano is not part of East Legon. Yes, Ajingano is part of East Legon, but those in Ajingano likes to be classified as Ajingano. So that's why when I say East Legon, I also say Ajingano. But yes, Adrian East Legon Hills, please contact Feel Good Homes. Also, the good thing that they have going on right now is the 4-bedroom houses that they have going on. Please take advantage of the 4-bedroom houses and make sure that you are also making a home for yourself. This is home away from home, a very luxurious home that you can, have a good time with your family. Please contact them at +1 513 372-5758, +1 513 372-5758. And please let them know that PK sent you. Also, if you reach out to me on the HITV platform, I will make sure I guide you through the right direction so that you can get some good deal and discount on those homes. Very soon, we're going to be posting some of the pictures of the homes on the platform so that you can see what they're working with as well. Again, um, most of our sponsors are also on the platform, and we have the Friends of Tatapsen platform where we discuss issues that has to do with Tatapsen. So you see you see Director A Class and Director Danny, dropping those links over there. You see producer and a lot also dropping HIT1. Join those both platforms. Let's discuss topics and see how best we can make the show an exciting one, and also on the HRTV platform where we deal with any issues or concerns concerning Tatopsen. And also I would like to say big shout outs to our brothers Mr. Awuku and Mr. Kwame Sakba. Those brothers are doing a phenomenal job in this country. So please, if you don't have their numbers, I want to make sure that you get their numbers. Call them. We pray for you. And after that, I will send it to lawyer Benedicta. They will probably arrange your case before the Council of Elders. And that will be the only time we'll deal with a legal issue with the Council of Elders instead of traditional way. And we'll make sure that we will surrender you to the gods for them to baptize you again. But again, I know that most of you have it. And if you have it, please use the app. Continue to use it. Continue to patronize it. Because the more you do, the more the opportunity comes up for us to also spread the word to the viewers, because Tatopsen is our main sponsor for this show. Basically, the rest of them is just basically supported, but Tatopsen is the main sponsor for the show and is dedicated for Tatopsen. And Tatopsen's way of giving back to the society is this. How do they do that? The more you send money back home, the little profit that they get, they throw it back into the society. On top of that, they are doing so many promotions and so many deals. I know there was a promotion that just ended in the month of January, and producer will probably give us some tidbits about it once I invite him to talk to us about it. So please and please and please and please, if you already have it, spread the word to your loved ones, your families, and even your enemies. This is the month of love. Let's show some love. Seneca Krakow, you have to know if you about you funny into those and it's kind of coffee, then let's have some good time. And once you do that, make sure you download the app from the Google Play Store, your App Store, and use the promo code PK, P-KAY. Man, Lawyer Benedicta did something great last month that kind of blew my mind, man. She called and asked for my promo code. Hey, PK, I got a promo code. I want to confirm it's the right one before I put in another code and, you lose on the opportunity. And Lawyer Benedicta, thank you so much. Midoka Emoboto back on Jasmine. And that's what we do. Once you send the money back, send me a screenshot and I'll make sure you get your Jasmine rights. At this point, I want to say thanks to all our sponsors, and we're going to have a great show. We have the energetic, the exuberant Lawyer Benedicta from Rehoboth Immigration Law, and we're going to have some great time with her. But Director, before Lawyer Benedicta comes into the play and take over the show, can you please give us updates from Startups and Corners?
Yeah, Piki, thank you. Lawyer, good evening to
everybody. No problem. I'm not telling you I'm
PK, me a fanboy, and I guess I'm Mr. Bahato. Me who never into the
but you update why.
But I say I've been a nice boy before. Anyway, the lawyer there are a few things I want to update our customers and our family about. So first of all, microphone complaining and me card no me per se me sisana masade for fresh so and a whole lot. Now I know or more used to tap most of them whom by me sa team. You can add as many cards as you want. The here and say call account section here. Then you add your card into
was it like that before?
Yeah, so it's been there for some time now, about 3 months. Yeah, U.S. money sudden, but Europe, it's been there for some time now. Now you have it, so you can add all the cards that you want. Now, what you use, you only have to change. You send there, you change payment method.
Can you specify when you say all the cards? We have credit cards and debit cards and business cards. Because I know at one point you can use credit card and business card. So
okay, you can use the business card. So that is what I think I spoke about last week. We are bringing the business people. No, so you can add the we will separate people doing business. And see, on person send the big in the cards and then this animal. We are doing that. Yeah, I am special. Now other side as well. So you can add your credit card and your debit card on the app, any of them, like 3, 4, 5. See, when you're about to send, you only have to change card, right? And then you select card 1, 2, 3, then you push it, then you send. Simple.
Good stuff.
Yeah, more a opportunity no more send. PK more music pufu or match chim kaka. But no way we know when I don't want you for some yana. So you take
what kind of cry? I feel the way we try to throw me music pufu. Kawase.
We take advantage over that. The next thing that we are doing is I think there's been a lot of complaints. The mode banner near na yeah bremo. Now what we are doing is the tap card people who has been using Wise, maybe you've had a taste of it. Into card or wallet so where you can put money on it. Now virtual card would do maybe a quick America, I think you do it and say Apple Pay, you just add it and so very soon you be enroll with the wallet. I think it's far gone and we are almost there. Inti PK kakra me woma and then no the aka yeah the better for next week. I mean we we are also bringing the WhatsApp where with me are chatting direct. Your pages in so I no is very necessary because open can't topic be as I think last time will be by and also person cultural stuff will be because I don't know if you had the contact. I'm not sure.
No, me information on that. The only one that me the finance guy now on the contact payment, but I just he didn't fall through. But me because culturally, you know, so we've always been excited.
Yeah. Because also I'm so was starting with U.S. actually and cry how to speak local languages and stuff like that. And see, he wanted to talk about it and stuff. And see,
I think I've seen that on the platform before.
Yeah.
Okay.
The platform network, Mr. Mo topic side, moon joining, and your papa and or be a wide idea, what she will be abundant, and you think say a bit
boy. The two friends of startups, right?
I think he came on there like this, and Oka said he wants to do it. So I gave the number, man. So I'm contacting now. I'm taking it from there, and I'm sure he's still around in Tedian or Bebaso. So you join the platforms, updates Baso, who issue you can contact any of the admins, and then we talk through, and then we find a fix to it. Updates now I can honey you be so to be one of my last cameras be you muted dinner inform your customers say be a mobile upright on then microphone the mobile baby into abusian for na kakra your lawyer.
All right, thank you very much, Director, for your updates from Startup Cent. Or before lawyer comes on board, what happened to the just ended promotion that was going on?
Okay, me fear promotion. Maybe we show now we might even talk about it more. But my main kakra be me fear no promotion be they are dealing with people who want to settle back home, right? It is a auto ticket. It was about ticket, the winning the ticket back home. Into auto because you are a customer of tap into your more promotion. Said with me fall into the draw and you can possibly be a winner. Think I've ticket flight back and forth. Near the Wako Ghana, no Wako Chile or Dr. Phil if you any not just a more feel come. But anyway, it's a promotion and they are still for Dr. Phil in the who and a special promotion and we became one of the mom. Mr. In follow this.
All right. Thank you very much. And so Asabi, I saw that you had your hands up. So let me go ahead and reiterate the process for today. As usual, how we run the show. So after we talk about a Startup Cent update from Startup Cent, basically what happened next is we do have the main substantive topic that we treat, which is the legal topic that we have for today. Then after that, we're going to run after about around 7:30. We're going to move into the Startups and focus. So lawyer will speak. She's very brief. That she's going to open up the room for messages and questions and also calls as well if time permits. We always try to get all the questions in as much as possible. But in case we don't, there's always another time to ask a question. These immigration questions keep coming up. So secondly, after that, we will roll into Startups and focus with Uncle Jimmy and the Ambassadors. That sounds like a music album, Uncle Jimmy and the Ambassadors. And basically, Director Dems will be there to help, facilitate that program and answer any questions or concerns that you have. So I'm not sure if your question has to do with the immigration part or the Startups and focus, but if it is, around 7:30 p.m., when Uncle Jimmy takes over, we can run from that. By this point, we want to say welcome back to the show, Lawyer BENEDICTA AGYEMANG. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm well by God's grace. Please yourself?
Great. You're still awake?
No, I'm home.
Hey, so even at home, there's still logo and everything happening.
I'm just trying to be like you guys. I'm trying to be fancy like you.
Who's you guys?
You guys. You and director and manager, everyone here, everyone. Let's just.
So now you are talking director and producer. Yes, fine, but don't into that category. But it's awesome to have you back again. Your energy, your exuberance, your benevolence are always not underlooked or underappreciated. So we want to say thank you so much for always taking up the mantle and also coming up to give us some nuggets. I know the show is going to be run in English. So at this point, I want to say, please, I may ask, what are the updates of our immigration law?
Okay, first of all, there's a brief government shutdown. The government shutdown last Friday. I'm trying to share my screen. The government shutdown last Friday. We are hoping that it will reopen soon. This does not affect your immigration case, unfortunately, because USCIS is fee funded. What that means is that the USCIS fees that you pay, that is what they use to fund themselves. So whether or not there's a government shutdown, they are fine. Immigration courts will still run. The only issue that the only immigration related issue may be Department of State, because Department of State oversees they oversee the Ghana embassy. So if they should not be affected, but if they're like, well, we don't have enough money, then it's going to affect them. So I've been following the Department of State Facebook pages in not Ghana, but I
Are you
think
sharing,
in
are you sharing the
countries.
slide?
Yeah, I'm sharing my screen. Let me
Oh,
make it.
can you make big? Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't started because I haven't done it because I haven't started yet. I haven't started
Oh,
saying anything.
it's showing. That's why.
Oh, it's showing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's showing, but I haven't started presenting. Okay, let me just make it a slideshow.
Yeah.
So the government shutdown should not affect your immigration case. Because only people that would have been affected would have been Department of State, that's those that oversee the issuance of visas. As you know, a couple of weeks ago, they said that 75 countries, they put 75 countries on a pause. Ghana is part of those countries. That only affects green card. So if your loved one was going for a B1, B2 visa, they can go. They don't have to come for the World Cup. They can still go. I actually have some cool updates for the World Bank for you. So this is all intro. Okay, number one, you guys asked me about the World Cup last time. So I have something for you. So FIFA is saying that if you so this is the Department of State. I always take you to the main source. So when people are talking, right? Be mindful of where they're getting their information from. If they're saying that maybe I saw it on TikTok or something, always make sure that you're going to the main source. The Department of State is the one that oversees the issuance of visas outside the US. So every time you hear anything about a visa, make sure you go and look at what the Department of State says. So they are saying that if you want to get basically it's so the World Cup visa is a regular B1, B2 visa. It's a regular visitor's visa, right? You come to the US for a very short time period to do something. In this case, you're coming to watch the World Cup. Great. They are saying that there's something called a FIFA priority appointment scheduling system. If you buy your ticket, your FIFA ticket through the FIFA website, so not some third party, which you and I know is very expensive, but if your loved one back at home buys their ticket through the FIFA website, then they can use the system to get an interview date. Please note, an interview date does not guarantee that you get a visa. I personally don't know what their plan is. If your loved one at home goes to buy a ticket for over $1,000 and they don't get the visa, I don't know what they are going to do. But legally, this is the route that they are saying. So you can do it two ways. You can just get a regular B1, B2 visa. What they are guaranteeing here is that if you, and there's frequently asked question session I'm going to take you to so we can look at it together. What they are saying is that if you go through this particular system, you are guaranteed to get an interview date soon. They're not guaranteeing your visa. So it's called the FIFA pass. Then the other thing too is that you have to make sure that you buy your ticket through the FIFA website. I know there are probably some third-party outlets that are really, really cheap. They don't want that. They want you to go to the FIFA website, buy your ticket, and then afterwards come back to this website and then go through the system. So this I can share the link in the chat if you have any questions, read upon it, but this is what they are saying. So that's number one. And then the person has also said that once you get your ticket, they will guarantee that you get an interview date soon. I'm going to reiterate, interview date is not visa. So that's it for the World Cup. The next hot topic that we're going to talk about, whoopsie, is a real ID. So starting yesterday, TSA said that if you don't have a real ID and you're trying to travel through the US, they will charge you $45. Personally, if you are not in status, I don't know why you would want to be by any airport, right? If you're not in status, because the truth is that if you're not in status, you can't get a real ID. So this is very important for people that are not in status. What they are saying is that if you are out of status or if you don't have a real ID and you are traveling through the US, they're going to charge you $45 because they will have to use another way to authenticate who you are and for security reasons. If you happen to have a US passport or if you have a US passport card um and once again, I'm bringing you here on purpose. TSA is the government agency that oversees these things. So if you have any questions about it, just make sure you're going to the government agency that talks about this. So they are saying that these are the acceptable forms from yesterday. So if you are trying to go from Mass to, I don't know, Idaho, Ohio, Minnesota, anywhere that you have to fly, you can either get your real ID, which we know that you can't get unless you're in status, or your US passport or your US passport cards, or traveler cards, or if you work for Department of Defense, or your green card, border person card, all of the stuff. So if you are undocumented, this does not apply to you. So what it means for you is that if you're undocumented and then you are trying to fly from state A to state B as of today, because you wouldn't have a real ID and you also wouldn't have a green card, right? You also wouldn't have a US passport. It means that they're going to charge you $45 because they have to undergo other certain checks for you. Okay. I know you guys will have questions, so let's go on and then we can come back if you have questions. The third hot topic that I have for you, H-1B registration. So this is very important because for most people that come to the US for school, after school, you think of getting a job. H-1B is one of the pathways that people get a job after going to school in the US, because there's usually like you get an F1, then you get like your OPT, and then maybe your employer will decide to do the H-1B for you. So a few things. Now we know about the 100,000 fee. That fee only applies to people that are outside of the US. What that means is that if you are currently here right now and your employer wants to do an H-1B for you, they don't have to pay the fee. The fee is for those that are coming in. And then the rationale they gave was that they said that there'd been a lot of A, people were abusing the system, and B, it was taking jobs away from people here because people resorted to doing H-1B and bringing people from Ghana, India, wherever, while people here were not getting jobs. So important to note that the H-1B system, it's a lottery. And similar to DV lottery, it's a lottery and it's not open forever. This year, it's open from just March 4th to March 19th. This is very important. Sorry. It means that, okay, perfect. This is really, really important because unless your organization is a capped exempt organization, usually the capped exempt organizations are things like nonprofits or schools, right? Or other things. Unless it's a capped exempt organization, you only have these 2 days to apply. Someone came to me once because she was like, oh yeah, his boss said he'll do H-1B for him. And the boss said that they have time and he was waiting on the boss. And then later on, the boss was like, oh, the time passed. Yes, because you can only do it through this time period. They're not going to extend it. So if you have an employer who may, let's say you're an F1 student and you're thinking of your options, please make sure they understand to do it for you within these 2 days. But you'll have to create an account on the USCIS website. It's a $215 fee. So they also have to do that. Also, please note, initially it was just a lottery, but this year, what they are saying is that they will prioritize. I'm going to highlight this so you can see. They're going to prioritize the visas to the higher skilled and higher paid people. What that means is that they'll most likely be willing to give it to somebody who, let's say, has a master's degree or a PhD over a bachelor's degree and will be paid more, right? Because you think about this way, when America is doing anything that is work-based, they're thinking about how is it going to benefit them. It's a fact. That's why they have the skill-based categories, right? Because they're thinking, okay, am I going to bring everybody, or I'm going to bring the people that I know that they have enough skill to finally build up my country. So they're going to give priority to those people. What that means is that if you have a master's, if you have a PhD, right, make sure you speak to somebody and see if they can sponsor you, or if they are going to give you a lot. It doesn't mean that if you don't have any of these, don't apply, because it's a lottery and anything can happen with lotteries. Okay, the next hot topic. So we know that ICE released a memo. They released an internal memo that was telling them that they can go into people's houses without a warrant signed by a judge. There's actually an internal memo that was leaked. I know we've all been following the news. We've all seen what's been happening in Minnesota. With the context of all of that going on, our job as lawyers is to remind you that you have rights and remind you that you have a Fourth Amendment right. So this is an ICE policy. The ICE policy does not replace the Constitution. The Constitution still says that you have a Fourth Amendment right, and then the only warrant that you should allow into your home is a warrant that has been signed by a judge. I have it on my slide. I can project it for you later on. So we know that there are things going on, and we know that they will try to enter without because they're telling them to use like a certain form, but that form is not a warrant signed by a judge. So we are just reminding you that the Constitution is still the supreme law of the land. We are just still reminding you that the Fourth Amendment right still says that in order for them to come into your private space, it's either if you allow them, and I hope you don't allow them. It's or whatever you decide to do, right? Because they are laws. So it's either if you allow them, or B, they come with the warrant signed by a judge, regardless of what their internal memo says, right? Because their internal memo it doesn't replace the Constitution. So their internal memo is telling them to rely on this particular form, and it's called an administrative warrant. That's a form that that somebody would share. And I have a sample here so I can show you later on and how a judicial warrant looks like. Okay, so ACA agreement. This only applies to people in immigration court. So when you apply for asylum, you say that, hey, I'm from Ghana and I'm scared to go to Ghana because of XYZ reasons, right? Now, there's something called an asylum cooperative agreement. Those are agreements that the U.S. government has entered into other countries. So we all know that there were certain diplomatic talks that were going on in Ghana, right? We all know that at a point there was a limit on the visas that on the month of time that you could get a visa from Ghana. It was moved to 3 months and it became single entry. And we all knew that some diplomatic conversations happened in the background. And afterwards, they said, okay, Ghana, you could bring people. Now, we all know that shortly after that, some people were being brought to Ghana, right? Some people that were not from Ghana were being brought into Ghana. So some of those conversations, some of those diplomatic agreements are called asylum cooperative agreements. That says that, okay, if you say you don't want to go to Ghana because they're going to kill you in Ghana, okay, I'm going to send it to Uganda. I didn't send you back to Ghana, right? Because asylum law says that I can't send you to a place that you fear return. Okay, I won't send you to Ghana, I'll send you to Uganda. So this is happening a lot in immigration courts. Department of Homeland Security, they are filing motions to pre-term it. In other words, throw it out or whatever the case, because hey, if he can't go to Ghana, okay, we'll take him to Uganda. So that's something that's happening. It's happening a lot. We are seeing it a lot, and we are fighting back. We are giving different responses. For example, I'm making the argument for my clients that whatever conditions that he fears in Ghana are the same in Uganda, right? So just know that it's something that is happening, but I don't want to scare you. If you are not in immigration court, do not border. We are seeing this apply. Of course, the standards are higher all around. So if you're applying for asylum or anything else, you have a higher standard to prove that you have a fear of return to your country, especially if you passed another country before coming into the US. That is called a circumvention of lawful pathways. And that's a different thing because they're like, okay, if you're telling me that you fear return to Ghana, I mean, because of whatever reason, but then you pass through Mexico and Venezuela and Honduras and all of those things and Panama, they are not Ghana. Why didn't you stay in Panama? If you're saying that, okay, I don't want to go to Ghana because of XYZ, you could have stayed in Panama. So those things too are there, right? And that's also something that people should know about. Travel bans. I spoke about the 75 country travel ban, which Ghana is a part of. Before that, there were some other travel bans. There were partial travel bans and all of this. A lot of people are asking me whether they should still submit their immigration application. My answer is yes. The reason is that if you are trying to file for a family member, I'm going to pause and then take questions because I know there are a lot of questions. I'll pause and take questions, and if we have time, I will come back to the slide. So my answer to this question is still yes. The reason is that if you're trying to petition for a family member, let's say in Ghana, the first step is the USCIS step. Currently, USCIS has not paused USCIS is still accepting applications. So if, let's say, I was going to petition for, let's say like my parents or whatever, or whatever it is, I would have to go through USCIS. It's going to pend in USCIS for about, let's say, 6 months to a year. Then it will go to the Department of State. So it has not even gotten to the point where the ban is affecting it yet. So if you wanted to apply for somebody, please do. We are all in this country. Nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. USS can be like, matter of fact, we won't give you guys. We don't know what they're going to do yet. So because they haven't yet paused things, I would still encourage you to still apply, because it hasn't gotten to the point. If you're now going to apply for someone, the ban does not affect you yet. For those, we have seen that those that actually went for the visa interviews were denied. So if you can reschedule it, maybe you should, because they are not going to give any visas because of the ban. So that's it. So I'm going to pause and take questions. And if we have enough time, I'll go back to the slides.
All right. So the key is no pause. Anita S22 Ultra. Your question on I don't understand. I can't. We can't hear you. You're mute.
So the Department of State called it a pause, but they are treating it like a ban, because they are denying people. Instead of saying come back later, they are literally denying people. So we are telling people, if you go, it's going to be denied. We don't know when this is being lifted. The reason they gave was that they said that we are using a lot of welfare benefits. So
Okay.
that's all we know
All
for
right.
now.
So I'm glad you understood what the question was, because it threw me off. But please type in all your questions and we will call you guys. We'll read it out. But also, if you want to speak, put your hands up like our brother Charles Ade just did. Asabia, if your hands was up because of the immigration topic, please let me know so that I can pick you up first. Charles, I'll pick Charles first. Then after that, we're gonna go to Anita, then Mr. Eric. Then I'll read the questions simultaneously as we go. Okay, Asabia's hand. Let me get Asabia, because Asabia had a hand up before we even started the show. Asabia, please unmute yourself. Tell us where you're calling from and your question.
Yeah, I'm calling from Maryland.
Okay.
So, I have a pending case, and initially I used to have every detail of the stage that we've gotten to. But now, I don't see nothing. All I see is case is being processed. Do you think it has anything to do with the ban?
No, because the ban that Ghana was a part of is only Department of State. There were partial bans before, but Ghana was not included in those bans. So if it's at the USCIS level, Ghana doesn't have any ban. There's no ban affecting Ghana at the USCIS level. So you could call and just follow up and be like, hey, my case has been pending for XYZ. I just wanted to follow up. If that fails, there's something called congressional action. If I have enough time, I'll talk about that at the end.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Asabia, I'll say follow up with the consultation and get more details as well. So
Right.
reading from YouTube, this is from Charlotte Ewusika. Says, oh, okay, thank you for this information. And Agota, hey, Agota, you did a long time. Agota says, please, what about the U.S. visa lottery?
So DV lottery, good question. The last time we heard of it, it was indefinitely suspended, because after one of the shootings, I believe it was the one at the Brown University, they had said that the suspect came into this country on a DV lottery visa. So because of that, it was indefinitely suspended. I saw something recently saying that they would open it up, but we haven't heard any more information. Typically, that happens towards like September, October, and we're now in February. So as announced, to answer your question, we don't have any concrete updates on that. The last thing we heard was that it was suspended.
Okay. Going back to Zoom, I'll call upon Charles Ade. Charles, tell us where you're calling from and your question. Charles, please unmute yourself. Mr. Charles, unmute yourself.
Yeah, my name is Charles Adai. I'm calling from Columbus, Ohio. USA. Yeah. My question is, she was saying those who went for interview were denied because with, I think with regard to welfare, those who receive welfare of those. I just want her to explain further to me, and also if the immigration, so giving interview date for people.
So, to answer your last question first, yes, they are still giving interviews. And that's one of the things that they came up to say, that they are still giving interviews. So the Department of State issued a release saying that they are pausing the issuance of green cards to people from 75 countries, including Ghana. The reason that the Department of State gave was that when these people, including Ghanaians, come into the US, they really use the welfare benefits and they take the wealth out of the US. Based on that, let's say, rule or order or whatever from the Department of State, they had called it a pause. However, based on that, the Ghana embassy is currently not granting any what's the name, like we're not granting any visas. So they are people are going for interviews, they just are not granting the visas. However, they are not saying, oh, we can't give you the visa, come back, I don't know, next year, next 2 years, next 3 years. They are just denying people. So even between the lawyers, we're not even sure what the next step is, because I don't even know whether to tell you to reapply next month, because I don't know whether there's still going to be a ban there next month. So right now, they are not issuing visas, green cards, and even those that went for appointments are being denied
Okay.
based on the statement from Department of State.
All right. Mr. Charles, if you don't mind dropping your hand so that I can see the rest of the people with their hands up. Before we go back to Zoom, let me come back to YouTube. Ohima Winner says, doing a student visa and a tourist visa, which one is advisable to do now? I am a 24-year-old.
The student visa, in the past, they used to get a lot of approvals. However, you would have to show a lot. You would have to show that you got into the school. You have to get an I-20 from the school. You would have to show that you can pay for at least 1 year of the school's tuition. So it's a lot of money. So if you have the money, you could definitely do it. They are giving it they are giving it a lot more than B1, B2 visas, but it requires a lot.
Okay. Anita, please unmute yourself and ask your question. Tell us where you're calling from.
Hello. Please, mine is not about immigration. I have issues with tap send.
No, Anita, hold on. If it's about startups, so you have to wait after 7:30 p.m. when we do the startups and focus. This right now.
Okay, so 7:30, you come back again.
No, we're not going to leave. We're going to be here. Uncle Jimmy is going to take over then. Any question
right.
that's startups said, okay?
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ms.
All
Anita.
right.
All right, we're going to call upon, I think Eric was next. Eric, please unmute yourself. Then after, we're going to go read some questions.
Hello.
Hey, Eric, tell us where you're calling from.
I'm calling from South Carolina.
Yes, sir. What's your question?
I'm a J1 teacher, and I'm in my 3rd year. That I'll get extension. My principal has to sign for me to get extension. So at this point, she said she will not sign my extension. So is there anything that I can do? Because if I don't get if I don't get her signature, I'm not going to get the extension, of which at the end of 30th June, my DS 2019 is going to expire. Is there anything that I can do?
Unfortunately, in regards to the J1, that's it. Maybe we could have a conversation to see if we can change status to any other non-immigrant visa. So there are other non-immigrant visas. There are other sorts of visas. There's an O1, there's an R1, there's an H1B. There are those other visas. But if you need it and she doesn't provide it, unfortunately, it's a requirement.
Okay.
I'm sorry, can I add this to it? Yeah, so is there any legal action that I can take?
I do not believe so. Maybe let's talk more and please give me more facts before I can give you a concrete answer. Maybe schedule a consultation and please give me more facts about it. But on the surface level, it looks like it's her prerogative from what I'm understanding so far. Maybe when we talk more, I can get a better understanding.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Also, guys, let's be mindful when we come on. Let's try to limit our questions to one so that other people can also get theirs in because we are all having a free time. It'll be great for all of us to just get some time in. This question is coming from Facebook HITV, and it's from Michael Nee Mate Mensa. It says, please, are non-immigrant visa like J1 also being denied currently?
No, I'm assuming for Ghana. So for Ghana,
Yes.
the only pause for Ghana is green card.
Okay. So just immigrant visa, not on immigrant visa.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna take one more call from Zoom, then we're gonna read the Zoom questions. Who do I pick? Who came first? Let me go with Payo. Payo, tell us where you calling from.
Yeah, good evening. I'm calling from Ghana. Please, my question is, if you have been placed on when you go to the interview and you have been placed on 221G, mine is for instance, mine is family sponsor. That is my dad filed for me. And when I'm going for the interview and I've been placed on 221G, please, is it possible that mine, for instance, it can be placed on 221G because I learned it's only marriage, marriage, what do you call it, sponsor that can be placed on 221G? And if yes, what are the information or the what do you call it? Yeah, the document I'll be adding to my interview again. Thank you.
So, please, that's very fact specific. You have to tell me more, right? Because they don't just give everybody 221G, right? Please, there's a reason that they do that. So, is there your dad's filing for you? Is there anything else that we need to know? Like, please, doesn't make sense. I won't be able to tell you unless you tell me more facts, unless you tell me, are you particularly concerned about something, right?
Yeah, yeah. I learned they place people or people who are going for the interview on 221G, which is probably the marriage sponsor. But
No, so
mine is family sponsor. I don't know how to explain, but my dad
please
filed for me.
understand you. Please understand you. So what I'm also trying to tell you is that they don't place everybody on a 221G. There has to be something to trigger that 221G. So if nothing is triggering it, they won't give it to you, if it makes sense.
So Payo, you remember the last
Okay.
time that we had a talk when your dad and yourself was on the call? And I was
Yeah.
like, call and consult. So because you guys had a peculiar situation, and it would be better for you guys to put in a consultation so that you guys can really present some documents to make things easier for you. Okay.
Okay, sure.
All right. Thank you very much. We're gonna take one female, then we're gonna read questions. Let's go to Caroline. Caroline, please unmute yourself. Tell us where you're calling from. Your question. Then we're gonna read some questions from Zoom.
Yes, hi. I'm calling from the state of Maine.
Hi.
Well,
Hi.
first of all, I think you're the first person from the state of Maine that, if my memory serves me right, thank you very much for joining the show. What is
Yeah, I
the question?
invited my friend today, Kate. She shared the Zoom link with me because we are dealing with like all this situation here in the U.S. right now. And I have a pending case. My question is that I have a pending case, and it's been 10 years that we've been waiting. End of 2025, we got called at Boston, but they sent us to the judge. So we've been going back and forth. And but just before that, my lawyer resigned from the case for health issues. She just said she can't take it anymore after we paid 16,000, stuff like that. But so I'm calling. I'm like, my question is to ask, what would be my option? Can I just get a consult, get a new lawyer? And because we've been here for 10 years. So should I keep with the asylum case, or would I have to request the non-removal. I don't know the exact name. So what are my options and what should I do?
Please schedule a consult with me on another attorney. I wouldn't be able, without knowing the facts of your case, I wouldn't
Okay.
be able to tell you what to do. So I'll drop the link in the chat, but please schedule a consultation with me or another attorney, and then let's speak about what the facts are and what your options are.
Okay, so we will sure do.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
Also, for the meantime, I want to say, please, if you see the Facebook, oh, I'm sorry, the WhatsApp chat links in the chat room, please click on it. One is for the HITV family chat room, where we just discuss topics, and also the panelists that wants to come on the show. And the other one is for Facebook, where you just the other one is for TATUPSEN, in case you have any issues with TATUPSEN. So please, those of you watching us and on Zoom right now, please click on the link and be part of the family as well. Oh, Caroline, you can go ahead and mute yourself. That's fine. And also, if you need contact information for Lawyer Benedicta, she's going to put it on. I know Caroline would need it. So please, lawyer, drop that so that they can actually reach out to you and schedule some appointment. This message was sent to me directly, so I will read it without a name. Because sometimes I want to be under the notion that when people send a direct message, they want to be anonymous. And I know there was a time that I read a message for someone, and he or she was like, "You didn't read my message." Like, "I did." It's like, "No, you did not, because you didn't mention my name." But it was a direct message. So any direct message, I'm gonna read it without a name, and hopefully. So this one says, question: what are the pathways for bringing a spouse to the U.S. if you don't want to go through the spousal visa route?
So there's a K3. There's this.
Follow up. I just saw that. And does the K3 visa route still work?
Oh, you're reading my mind. That's a good question. We've had mixed reviews. We've had some people that it worked for. We had some people that it didn't really work for. So it's a 50-50 one, but it's worth trying. I personally haven't done it in a while, but overall there are mixed reviews. It's working for people, is not working for some people.
Okay. All right. iPhone, please ask your question. Please unmute yourself and ask your question before you beat me or share. If I send me a personal message, my hands are up. iPhone, you are not muting yourself. I will move to the next person. Please unmute yourself. Tell us where you're calling from. iPhone 128.
Hello?
Yes, boss.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Mark. I'm calling from Chicago.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I have a problem. My problem is I filed from I-130 for my spouse, and it has been approved. I was in the process. My documents have even sent to National Visa Center for better processing, which I've already started the process before the prison came. But my point is, I got to a point that they are asking me for affidavit of support and financial support, which really is a little bit dicey for me. I find it difficult to complete those two forms. So I've been struggling to get a lawyer to help me with it. So I joined it just to get a clarification on it. Do I supposed to fill those forms, the affidavit of support or the financial support?
Yes, please. So the form you have to fill is the form I-864. You're basically telling the U.S. government that you are going to make sure that this person does not become a burden onto you. So yes, please, you are supposed to fill it. If you don't make enough, and whether or not you made enough is based on the Department of USCIS. Their guidelines, you should have made 125% of the federal poverty guidelines. I know. I can explain it to you better in the consult, but if you do not make enough, then you can get a joint sponsor or you can use somebody in your household's income. But bottom line is you should fill it, please, as a requirement.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you. By then, I think I'm making enough because when I look at the particular amount that I'm supposed to have before I can file, I fall within it. And they send the list is 26,000, and I'm exceeding that. So, but I'm going to consult you for further reasons so that you can help me out. I just need your number and then the link. I can take it up with.
Please, I put the link in the chat.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So Mary asked a question. Please, I'm an F1 visa holder. I'm graduating in May. When I'm applying for OPT, should I let the employer know that I need sponsorship for H-1B? Wouldn't that make them reject my application? So that's like a double conundrum question there.
Yeah, I think you should, because if you don't tell them upfront and then later on you tell them that you need sponsorship, they may be very upset.
Okay.
Yeah. So whether or not they're going to reject, please, I don't know.
All right. I'm gonna call on Gideon because he was the next on the chat for me to read. So Gideon, please tell us a question. Then tell us where you call it from your question. I'm not gonna read the one on Zoom. I'll proceed to the next person. Go ahead, Gideon.
Yes, I'm calling from Phoenix, Arizona. My question is K1 fiance visa. My question is they are still being processed, and if they're still being doing the process, my question is, what about if you cannot meet your fiance because of medical condition? Is filing a petition, they will consider that.
So to answer your question, it's being processed. K1 is actually one of my favorite visas right now because the ones that I did recently got approved so fast. So it's currently one of my favorite visas. And whether there's the medical exception, I am not sure. I think I've seen people make that argument before. I don't know if it was successful. For context of everybody else on the call, one of the requirements of a K1 visa is that you should have met your spouse within the past 2 years, and they want proof of that. So whether it's plane tickets, whether it's pictures and all, I've definitely seen lawyers make that argument before. I don't know whether or not USCIS accepted that. So maybe you can schedule a consult and we can talk more about it and go deeper into what exactly their requirement for the exception is.
Okay, thank you much. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Gideon. Simeon asks, so will it make sense to push your interview out in hope that the freeze will be unfreezed?
It does. The only problem is that we don't know when it's going to be unfreezed. So
okay. So you just keep yourself in the limbo. Cap says, so if you can prove that you won't be a burden on the government or use public benefits, are applications more likely to get approved?
It's actually a requirement. So it's not about whether or not the application will get approved, it's whether or not it's even going to be processed, because they need to see that.
And AON says, but Ghana nationals are not being granted F1 student visas.
Really? No, we just got one approved. We just got a change of status approved. So I don't know about that. I do know that we got a change of status approved last week.
Okay. Danielle, director just dropped the link in there, one of the chat rooms. Please click on it and be part of it. Also, producer dropped one earlier, so please click on it. This is from DA. DA says, if the reason for the ban is to prevent people from benefiting from welfare, isn't the affidavit of support form meant to determine if the sponsor is financially sound to support the potential immigrant or immigrants to prevent them from being a public charge? Is there a valid legal justification? If yes, what's the benefit of the affidavit of support from then? Thank you. DA, you my favorite person for tonight so far.
That's a brilliant question. Unfortunately, I am neither President Trump nor Marco Rubio, who had Department of State. So unfortunately, I don't have the answer for you. However, that's a very brilliant question.
All right. Well, let me go ahead and ask one more question from YouTube, then I'll pick up EW because EW has been on very long. Gideon, do you mind if you drop your... Oh, there's two Gideons. So please, one of the Gideon that just spoke right now, can you drop your hand so that I can know and pick that Gideon? Now I don't even know which Gideon had the question that I skipped. All right, one of the Gideon just dropped. Okay, cool. EW, I'll pick you very soon, then we'll go from there. Agata comes back to say, please, what type of visa is H-1B? I have read that the initial registration period... Producer, can you mute iPhone Caroline for me, please?
I muted her.
Okay. Please, what type of visa is H-1B? I have read that the initial registration period for the F1 2027 H1B cap will open at noon Eastern Time on March 4th, 2026, and close at the noon Eastern Time on March 19th, 2026.
I actually mentioned that during my presentation. Did everyone hear me mention it?
Yes.
Okay, so actually I can drop the link in the chat. You are right. It was one of the first things I mentioned. And an H-1B is an immigrant visa. What that means is that it's not a green card, and then they give it to you for a while. So you are right, it was on the slide.
Okay. EW, please unmute yourself and tell us a question.
Yes, thank you so much. My name is Esther Cullen from Texas. With all that is going on with ICE, if you have a U.S. passport, do you also need a certificate, like of citizenship to carry with you? Or...
No, it's either or. Either of them, it's a proof of legal status. The question is, which of them are you more comfortable carrying around?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You might, if you drop your hands for me, please, so that I can see the rest of the guys on the screen. Judith asks from Zoom, please, is the backlog for EB3 moving since the pauses at the visa issuance level for the Department of State? Are they processing those in the queue for dates to be current for interviews dates to be scheduled?
So the interesting thing about the visa bulletins that it changes every month. So we are currently in February. So I can look at it right now and tell you that, oh, right now in February, they're in XYZ year. It's supposed to progress, but we've seen it regress sometimes. So to answer your question, I don't know because the visa bulletin changes every month. So unfortunately, you're just gonna have to keep checking it every month. I know it sucks.
Okay. Benny, please unmute yourself. Tell us where you're calling from and your question.
I'm calling from Virginia. I want to know if you've already filed for your mom, and with this ban, can you just call that case off and file for just visitor's visa for her? And also, is it true that those filing for visitors visas, they have to pay a deposit of $15,000? Thank you.
So, hi, namesake.
Hi.
Your first question.
But
Typically,
hold on, lawyer. How do you know she's Benedicta? She could be Bernice.
No, I think
She
I
could
asked
be.
her last time.
Yes.
I asked her.
Oh, okay. Yeah, hi. I thought you were getting too excited. All right, go ahead.
So to answer your question, typically when you file for somebody and they have it in their records, they wouldn't, if you try to apply for a B1, B2, they wouldn't give it to the person. The legal reason is that a non-immigrant visa means that I'm not coming to stay, I'm going back. An immigrant visa means I'm coming to stay back. I'm coming to stay forever. So at that point, they're like, okay, somebody's lying, right? Because on one hand, you're coming to stay forever. Now, all of a sudden, you're changing, quote unquote, changing your mouth to say that you are coming and going for a short while. They know that you are lying. So typically when you do that, they will not grant it to you. The second question is about a visa bond. And thank you for bringing it up because it's something that I forgot to update. Some countries are being subject to a visa bond. And then what that means is that they would have to pay a deposit before coming into the US. I'm going to look it up right now. The last time I checked, it's certain countries. So that's very country specific. So I'm going to share my screen right now and then we'll look at it together. Yeah, Ghana is not on. Okay, yeah. So let me share my screen. And so thank you for bringing it up because it's actually an update that I forgot to share.
Okay.
So, okay. So, countries subject to visa bonds, right? Algeria, Angola, Antigua, Bangladesh, Benin, Ghana is not part. So it could be that some countries are paying $5,000, but we are not part yet. So let's cross our fingers and hope that we don't get on this list.
All right. Okay, you mind if you stop sharing for me? Oh, Benny
Yes.
says thanks, Benny. Oh.
You're welcome, Benny.
This is from iPad. Hello, lawyer. My son had been in line for his interview since 2016. He's about to be called. So you mean he's going to, I think she wants to use, you mean he's going to be refused? Question mark.
Yeah, if he's called right now, unfortunately, but the interview dates are quite out. So I'm pretty sure if they call him today, he's not going tomorrow. So at this point, let's just hope and pray.
Is that not a grandfathered process whereby those who are already in queue will be grandfathered into the old process? Then the bond will start from those that started post dates of the bond.
No, so they had said that the ban, that's a good question. They had said that the ban was starting from February 21st, right? So to your point, logically, you would think that they would just be like, okay, since you were in line before the ban, it won't affect you. However, we are seeing those people who were in line before the ban still go and still be denied.
Oh,
Yes. So unfortunately, at this point, we just pray and hope that they will be called after the pause.
so let me
And
ask
we
you.
don't know when that's going to be.
There's another personal question that came up, but before that, please, the link to Rehoboth Immigration Law is in the chat room, and we're also going to try to put it in our WhatsApp chat room as well, but it's in the Zoom chat. Please click on it, schedule consult, and make sure she gives you your discount. If you don't get a discount, please let me know. I'm going to
So
fight.
speaking of discount, we spoke about it. He advocated on your behalf. So this is what I'm thinking. Instead of $200, it could be a $150, but it's a phone call. Because not so it's gonna be for 30 minutes for phone call because we can do that instead of paying for 45 minutes for Zoom or in person. Your discount is that it's going to be $150, but it's going to be for 30 minutes and it's going to be a phone call. Is that a good compromise?
It is. It is. I know it was a back and forth going, but it's very, very much appreciated. I want to say on behalf of Time with Tatups and the entire staff, thank you very much for your discounted consult fee. All right. So now this question is internal. Gideon, I'll see you. I'll call you very soon. In this case, if people who like couples who have met each other, who wants to get married, and they are both in America. One is okay, one is not. Will they have to go back to Ghana and do it, or they still can do it here as usual? What the old process?
So please, what do you mean by one is okay?
So somebody who is a citizen has met, a very sweetheart who is not a citizen, and they
Got it.
want to go ahead and proceed with the process. Is this still as it used to be, or because of the ban, they'll be like, "Oh, you need to go back to Ghana and do it," so that they can deny you and not say, "I don't know."
So thankfully, God being so good, USCIS has not implemented a ban against Ghana yet. So there are a lot of different federal agencies at play. USCIS governs the things in the US. Department of State governs Ghana Embassy or things outside the US. The ban is currently only affecting for Ghana, only affecting Department of State, not USCIS. It means anything immigration related that's happening in the US is fine. So if you've met somebody and you want to marry the person, please do so ASAP. Yeah, we are all in this country. We sleep and wake up and things are different. Please don't wait till it's too late. As of right now, there's no USCIS ban. Please get your applications in before, God forbid, something happens.
Okay. Direct message again. And this was is a K3 the only route though? Sorry, I'm not sure if she finished answering the question.
Some people try and finesse the K1 too. There are ways around it. And also I've also seen some people just try to let the person come on like in a B1, B2, and then when the person gets here, try to do the adjustment status. So that's what I've seen other people do.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please click on the WhatsApp chat for the HITV and also the Friends of Tatups. The number to Rehoboth Immigration Law is 929-497-6727. If you are calling outside America and Canada, please add +1 so that your call can go through. Counsel, is this your number, please? And this is from I4128. Yes, it is her number. All right, so there's another Gideon. Gideon says you ignore my question. There are two Gideons on the call. Gideon, that is where I unmute you. Please unmute yourself and tell us where you're calling from. So apparently, it's funny. When I got to the first Gideon, the other Gideon was on the call. So I was like, okay, you know how the process I have over here, I don't read question from the same person and allow them to speak, because that is taking other people's time, right? So I try to make it fair. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to read the question, but rather call Gideon. And I apparently called the wrong Gideon. So now this is the correct Gideon from the first question. Gideon, you have the floor. Tell us where you're
Uh,
from.
Hi, I'm calling from Philly, Philadelphia. Like I said, my name is Gideon. My question was that I have my mother here with us, and she's on visiting visa, and then the intention is to file for her. She has 2 months left for her to go back. Either than that, she's going to overstay. My question is, must she go back to Ghana before we can apply for her, or what will be the process, or what will be the protocol?
She could go back to Ghana, or she could just do a change of adjustment of status, apply for her to be a green card holder. The issue that with this administration is that we are fearing that they are going to say that she knew that she wanted to come and get a green card when she was coming. So in other words, they may bring it up that she misrepresented because she said that she was just coming to, because the B1B just says I'm going to come visit and go. Now, if you're doing a green card, it's like, I'm not going, I'm going to stay here. So legally, you can apply for a green card for her. You may come into the issue that you may have an issue of them saying, well, you lied to us because you knew very well that's not you're coming to stay. You told us you were leaving.
All right. Thank you very much, Gideon. You can drop your hand. If you have any further deliberations, you can call her office and get some good talks in. Now, this is not this is Benedicta. Benedicta says, I filed for my son in 2017 and the vase was approved. I think the case, unless there's a vase in the process that I don't know about. But up to now, I have heard from, I think she want to say, I have not heard from the NVC. What should I do?
How old is your son? First of all, hi namesake. How old is your son? If it's over 21, so I'm just going to answer. If your son is over 21, then it's going to take a while longer. If the child is not over 21, then you can submit an NVC inquiry. I mean, at this point, nothing is moving. Previously you could have submitted an NVC inquiry to just be like, hey, it's been a while since I submitted, just checking in to make sure that everything is okay. So that, I mean, you should do that anyway. So at least you know, because NVC is weird, and this is free advice. NVC is kind of weird in that if you don't log in within a year, they will deem that you've abandoned the application. So every time, even if you've not heard from NVC, make sure you log in every year. Make sure you document that you logged in, take a screenshot, or just send an NVC inquiry. Because if you don't send it within a year, then they'll be like, oh, you don't care about this case, we are closing it, which you don't want that to happen. So first of all, log in and take a screenshot of logging in, and then send them an NVC inquiry to make sure that everything is okay on their end.
Okay. DA is asking you, are you aware of any class action lawsuit to challenge this ban if Iowa 864 is meant to serve this purpose?
I think there are. I'm not positive. I'm pretty sure there are some. I don't know. I'm not following. Understand? I don't know.
Okay. This is a direct question for you from iPhone. Please, lawyer, I have an asylum court at, I think, on October 2026. Should I go or what should I do?
So lawyers are officers of the court. What it means is that we cannot legally tell you to disobey the court orders. So if you have a court date, it's literally like the judge is saying come to court. So legally, I cannot tell you not to go to court. Next question, please.
Oh, yes. That's why I said it was a direct question for you. iPhone 128 says, what if I call and share my screen with you to help me fill my application? Is it allowed, please? I think that is a conversation.
Doing a consultation. So the consult, if you are paying for the 45-minute one, it's for 45 minutes. If you are doing the tap send one, that we cannot review an application in 45 minutes or 30 minutes. And the other thing too is that if, for example, I'm reviewing PK's application, right? A part of reviewing the application is making sure that every single thing on is accurate. I don't know PK's date of birth. So if PK calls me and says, Lawyer, please look for this for me, or let's say he does something wrong, his name, date of birth, maybe he's not been married before, he says he has, I don't know, right? Maybe he has kids, I don't know, he has kids. And I'm just reviewing. I don't know that something is not accurate because I don't know your personal life. So let's say you can be like, oh, I reviewed a lawyer. There you go. You says like, oh, by the way, we're denying because you've been married 5 times, you didn't put 5 times. At that point, I'm reviewing it. I'm sorry. Okay, not PK, somebody else. US says like, okay, I'm denied because USCIS denies for the very petty reasons. Sometimes it's not always you did something wrong. It's like, oh, you said your name was X, and then, or let's say you came with a different date of birth. So I'm saying all of this to say that I do not review I only touch cases top to bottom. I don't review because there's some things that I don't know enough to effectively review, especially for 45 minutes. If you have a specific question, let's say, lawyer, I don't understand number 28 on this thing, or page 4, it says children, does it include stepchildren? I can help you answer very specific questions.
Is that not what you guys go through when they actually hire you to be their lawyer?
Right.
Yeah, so I think consultation is just you getting information, right?
Exactly, which is why I can't fill a form with you doing a consultation.
Yeah, I think I just wanted to be direct with the person so that they understand that there's still not even hope when they come on Zoom, because even when they come on Zoom, it may not be thorough. Like I said, if it's just sporadic questions, that needs to be picked and and just answer, that's fine. All right, this is a direct message, and it says, and does the B1, B2 visa process work for spouses?
And if they find out that your spouse is here, they may not give it to you. So it's your spouse a U.S. citizen? Is your spouse a green card holder? Is what if they find out that your spouse is a citizen or a green card holder, they are most likely not going to give it to you. All my years of practicing immigration law, I've only seen them. Actually, that one he even got it before he got the green card. But if they find out that your spouse,
follow up, this is, or how about student visa for someone with a U.S. citizen spouse? So I think that kind of help you with the question that you asked.
right? It's they may not give it to you because the whole idea is that they know that you are coming. Let's be honest. They know that you most likely wouldn't go back because your spouse is here. So because they know that, they are going to say that just let your spouse file for you. But if you want to try, you could try. It's a 50-50. I mean, in this case, maybe 80-20. They are
So
most likely not going to give it to you.
I'll call you 13 minutes. I would like to speed up a little bit. This is from my sister, Mariam Abdallah. She says, how much do you charge for filing an asylum, please? And by the way, I'm Abdullah T, just in case you don't know. All right.
So asylum, it depends. Is it in court or out of court? So I have two different fees based on where you are.
Mariam, can you please come back and just, and she says, I mean the cost of all the process. So again, I don't know if it's just in the court or maybe I think the whole 360.
So if it's in court, if you're in immigration court, it starts from 9,000. Starts because some people have interest in things that need more stuff. Starts from that. If you are not in court, then it starts from 7,000. Please, operative word here is starts. If you come to me with a very interesting immigration issue that I have to untangle like a web, then please, it's going to be more.
Okay. Again, you said the constructive operative word is start from, in parentheses, quoted, borderlines, bolded, underlined. Judith says, please, are you I-140 application?
Do I do I-140? Yes, I do I-140s. That's for
if you read the question already?
I-140. No, but I figured what you're trying to say. Where is it?
No. I think that wasn't a question. It says, please, are I-140 application for EB3 still being filed for applicants within the U.S.?
I don't see why not. I don't remember seeing any policy regarding that. So to the best of my knowledge, they are still filed. They are still being filed.
All right, this is from Wendy Awendi. Is there any chance that an I-130 to be canceled given the fact that nothing is the usual anymore?
I-130, where was the spouse? Is the spouse inside the US or out of the US? Where was sorry, not just spouse, alien relative. Of course, it could be parent, child, or spouse. The relative that you're filing for, are they in the US or they're outside the US?
when the answer comes, I'll let you know. Mariam Kasbaz is saying, what do you advise for B1, B2 visa holder who is left with 2 months to go out of status? Do if she wants to stay back? Oh,
So
status do if she wants to stay back.
So for B1, B2, you can if there's a legitimate reason, you can ask for an extension of your B1, B2. Number two, you can do a change of status to another non-immigrant visa. So there's F1, right? If you decide to go to school. There's R1, one of my favorite visas, if you're a religious worker. There's O1 if you have extraordinary ability. So you could look for another non-immigrant visa to go towards or go to school, or do you qualify for asylum, right? That's maybe something that you can also look into. Or if you can apply for a green card based on something, then you could do that too.
All right, this is a very good one, not a unique one from Samsung SM. Is this Zoom only for immigrants coming to America or also for those wanting to get citizenship for Ghana? I'm a born natural U.S. citizen. Also, how I reach you for someone in Ghana. I think Laoni actually was working on this process, and that's what I think next week's show was going to be about. For those wanting to relocate back to Ghana and how they want to get with it. So, Samsung, please click on the HRTV chat room and message me, and I will connect you with. And I think Leonie was on the show earlier. So, Leonie, if you're on the show, please private message Samsung and get his or her information so that you guys can work it out backed off. I know we have 9 minutes, and I have one. Oh, Wendy came back to say no, the family member is in Ghana.
So if USCIS doesn't have a ban yet, so it should be fine. The I-130 should be okay because under USCIS.
Okay. iPad says NVC had been giving me updates every 60 days that they are waiting for the interview date from Ghana. So my question is, if we do hear for the interview date, can we extend the date for how long? Can we extend the question mark? If so, how long?
I don't know. That's a question for Ghana Embassy, unfortunately. I don't know how they're handling this. You can request to reschedule. Would they grant it? I don't know. And when are they going to reschedule it to? I don't know. Is the ban going to still be in effect when they give you a rescheduled date? Unfortunately, I don't know.
All right. PA is asking how much do you charge for filing a K1 visa from start to finish?
For K1 visa, that's an interesting one. So the K1 visa is in phases. The first phase is that you file the form I-129F, and then it gets approved from USCIS. Then you go to Ghana. Then you have an interview. If you go for an interview in Ghana, then you come to the US. Then 90 days after you get married in the US, then you apply for the green card. So then there are 3 different steps. So I charge 2,500 for the form I-129, and then I charge 1,500 for the Ghana Embassy part. And then if you want to hire me after the person comes and you guys get married, and then you want to hire me for the green card, that's another application fee. That's another fee from my end. So I broke it down so you know that there's 3 different steps, and I charge for each different step.
All right. Okay. Mariam says, with what is going on, do you advise someone to in for asylum, and how long will it take?
If you have a viable claim for asylum and your country is not one of the banned countries, I will say still file. However, after the National Guard shooting during Thanksgiving last year, there was a pause in granting them refugee status. What it means is that you can still apply for asylum, but they're not going to approve it tomorrow. So if timing is important to you, just know that. However, if you have a fear of return to your home country, still apply. These are your basic human rights. International refugees. So I know this because I used to intern at the UN in law school. The concept of being a refugee is international refugee law, is not USCIS law. It's not American law. What it means is that these laws are still supreme and these laws still hold. Okay, so if you're a refugee, you're a refugee. You're entitled to protection. That's what UNHCR says. So if you have a claim, please apply.
Okay. Here comes back to says, what if the person is in UK and that was to his or her question in regards to how much do you charge for filing for K1 visa from start to finish?
The country does not matter. It's the same process. It's the same USCIS then. So in case of Ghana embassy, then I guess UK embassy, because you still have to prep them. You still go for an interview anyway, right? And you still have to prep them for the interview.
And I'm gonna take the last two questions, and I'll ask one more question. So the three more questions coming your way. Kenny says, how much will it cost for a simple US citizenship application?
So, PK, I don't even know whether I'm comfortable discussing charges. Matter of fact, let's talk about the charges later, because I don't want to say something today and someone is going to call with a complex issue and be like, oh, but you said it was this amount.
So
So
please, and you know. So the last but one question is from Gabriel Kenny. I am an OPT now. My family joined me last year, March. Can I file for tax with them this year if I get a tent number? If I get a tent for them, will this affect my green card in any way?
no, so far as you are working legally and you get a 10, that's totally fine.
All right. So this is the last question that I have. So this apparently a young gentleman who at the age of 16 years was being adopted by the father, by the legal father who already did all the legal works and everything. They went for a visa interview date and was denied. Apparently, the I-130 was also denied in 2021 when the young boy was 21 years old because they were trying to reach out to the legal father, and the legal father had changed address. And now the I-130 has been denied. Is there any hope? The gentleman right now is in America in college doing his master's, and was looking to the father was looking to do a change of status. Is there any hope for this young guy for that change of status, or because I-130 is expired, the whole process needs to be started again?
Sometimes we ask USCIS to reopen application. No, actually, I think it's no, because so a spontaneous motion is only when it's their fault, and this doesn't look like it was their fault. So it's unfortunately, and even if you wanted to do a motion to reopen or reconsider, would have to be within 30 days. And this is for everyone's knowledge. If USCIS screws up, and they do screw up, you want to make sure you tell them that they've screwed up within 30 days. Or if there's any reason you want them to reconsider a decision, even appeal, the timeline is 30 days. They don't often extend the 30 days unless it's like, oh my goodness, something ridiculously happened. But this sounds like you're just trying to reach somebody and the person was not reachable. So most likely, no.
So there's no hope for this young guy to get his status adjusted by the father?
Why doesn't the father reapply? What am I missing?
So that's what I'm saying. Does the father have to go through a reapplication?
Oh, yes. Yeah, if but then is it the adoptive father? Because adoption was adoption completed by his by 21?
Yes, when he was 16.
Okay, so the adoption is like completed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then now the only issue that we have to contend in is that when you are more than 21, if your parents file for you, it takes forever. It doesn't only apply to the people in Ghana. Here too, it takes forever. And also now, if there's only unlawful presence it's accrued. Then because you're 21, you have to now leave and go to Ghana for your visa. That's how it works. And then when you do leave, they'll slap you with you've accrued unlawful status, so you have a ban. So
Yeah.
there are different layers here.
All right, they are listening, so I'm pretty sure they will do the needful. At this point, I want to say thank you very much for giving us Precious came with a question. Okay, let's please take Precious before we leave. Precious says, can F1 students from the partially banned countries in the United States still file for green card regardless of the pause?
So the partial ban, what country? What specific country?
Precious, can you just state the country real quick before? Whilst we're waiting on Precious to stay country, I want to say thank you very much for coming. You have always been a blessing to the show, and we are grateful to have you. We always try to stop at 7:30 so that you can get on your other engagements, and that way, when we call you, you don't run away. Precious is Nigeria.
So because there've been multiple bans, let me check real quick. 1 minute. I believe so, because I believe the ban only affected the immigrant. 1 minute, let me just clarify this. Because there have been multiple bans, I always make sure I clarify before I give an answer. So because there have been
So do you know Abeokuta?
um
Yeah, I'm from Abeokuta, partially.
so let's do this. Let me not hold up everyone. I'll text PK the answer, and I hope PK, is there a way you can get Precious the answer?
I don't know if you want to just put on the
Okay.
chat. First, click on the chat
Yeah.
room so that you can be a part of it,
Yeah.
and we can just put information
Then I'll
over there.
text because there have been so many bans. I want to take my time and know I'm giving you the right answer.
All right. Thank you very much, lawyer. At this point, I will let director just sign you out. Oh, producer just dropped the chat room for the WhatsApp chat room. Precious, if you click on that, I will drop a message later today and just IM me or DM me, and I'll just give you the information from lawyer Benedicta or lawyer Benny. So producer, director, Danny, please, if you're not available, director A-class, can you guys please sign out lawyer Benny for us, and hopefully to see you pretty soon, sometime next month. Every month, April. Lolo, did you hear me?
Oh, sorry, I'm still trying to give the Nigeria answer. I'm sorry. Yes, please. As often as you guys need me, I'll be glad to come.
Oh, we need it tomorrow. Next week, next 2 weeks, next 3 weeks, next 4 weeks, next 5 weeks. I'm just kidding. All right. Director, please, can you guys unmute yourself and sign out? If any of the directors are available, A-class, Denis, can you guys unmute yourself? All right. Uncle Jimmy, producer, can you unmute Uncle Jimmy for him to sign them out?
Okay, Lawyer Benet, we thank you once again for such a wonderful presentation, and we hope to see you next time. Thank you, and God bless you.
All right. Thank you very much, Uncle Uncle Jimmy, for such a great sign-up message.
I'm so sorry. Yes, please. Thank you for having me. And anytime you guys need me, please let me know. And just please give me enough notice. Thank you.
Well, like Dr. OFORI-ASENSO said, we might need you every month, if that is possible.
I like to stress her out, but she's always going to be there for us. Thank you.
Okay.
God bless you, and see you guys again. This is what we sign out on Facebook and YouTube. If you're still watching us, please join us on Zoom, where we do the top 10 focus, led by Uncle Jimmy and the ambassadors, and they will make sure that all your questions and concerns will be answered. I know that Anita had a question, so Uncle Jimmy, please don't forget to call Ms. Anita first when it gets to that. I want to say big thanks to all the producers and for helping bring the show to you, especially on a lot. And also big shout outs to all our viewers and also all our friends on Friends of Tatapsen page, and also the HITV chat room. Please join. Let's brainstorm and come up with some great topics to make this show a unique and special one. Again, my name is Dr. Pico for SSO, and thanks for having me on the show, Time with Tatapsen. See you guys same time, same day next week, right here. God bless you all. Bye-bye.